Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's August the 8th of 2018. We've got some new developments in that story from New Mexico from the other day about the 11 starving children that was rescued from that makeshift compound in the desert. Get a load of these new developments here, folks. Man arrested at New Mexico compound was training kids to commit school shootings, court documents say. I've got three versions of this story pulled up here from three different websites. All three versions read exactly the same. They were all updated roughly an hour or so ago. The original story was that authorities were searching for a missing 3-year-old boy from Georgia, and that the father of the boy was believed to have abducted that boy and took him where what authorities believe was to go live at this compound. The father of the missing 3-year-old who was arrested in New Mexico compound last week was training children to commit school shootings. Court documents filed on Wednesday revealed. This is the man right here. Was also discovered that it's believed, but it hasn't been positively identified, but child's remains were found at this compound, and it's also believed to be the missing 3-year-old. Right here we have the mugshots of 3 women. If you'll notice, 2 of these women have the same last name as the leader at this compound, this guy right here. I'm going to speculate here that this was some kind of cult that this guy was running. I read a report initially, can't be verified, there's no positive information, but this was some kind of extremely devout Muslim religion that these people were into. It's interesting here, as I said, that 2 of these women have the same last name as the man up here. It could be that they're related. One of them could be his sisters, or maybe multiple wives. This compound was isolated in the desert, no running water, no electricity, no communications to the outside world. They were living in a camper trailer, a travel trailer, that had been buried into the ground. The makeshift compound located near the Colorado border was found shielded by old tires, wooden pallets, and a wall studded with broken glass. Upon authorities' arrival, Wahhaj was heavily armed with an AR-15, 5 loaded 30-round magazines, and 4 loaded pistols, including 1 in his pocket. There's another interesting tidbit to this story, that these people, I believe, are extremely religious. Authorities say his father had told the boy's mother that he wanted to perform an exorcism on the child. He later said he was taking the child to a park and didn't return. It's also noted that the child that went missing, the 3-year-old, had medical problems, some sort of disabilities, physical disabilities, and he was taking a lot of medication, and that during the time that he had been abducted from the mother, that he had been without his medication. I know in a lot of religions it's believed, extremist religions, that people with mental disabilities or physical disabilities, these religions are so extreme that they believe that the disabilities upon a person were sent down from God to punish the family, punish the people, could possibly be the reason why this guy right here, the main leader of this cult, and I call it a cult, wanted to perform an exorcism on the child. This story here is very interesting in itself, folks, due to the way these people were living out in this extremely ramshackle compound just out in the middle of the desert here, and having 11 children that were starving. This story reminded me of, I don't know how many of you may remember, but there was a family, the mother and father, and then I think 13 or so children, some of them young, 2 or 3, 4 years old, and I think there was a few of them that was in their 20s, that lived isolated from the outside world. The neighbors, all the neighbors and everything, said the only time they seen him was through a window, or they would be out in the yard doing chores, but it would be at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just unusual stuff. And then that father had that funny haircut, but by all outward appearances, they did some unusual stuff. But come to find out, these people, the kids, had been held there, abused, mentally abused, physically abused for years. Folks, let me know what you think in the comments below this video about the 11 starving children at this compound in the desert, and these newfound revelations here that the father was training these kids to conduct school shootings. Very interesting, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.